Good afternoon and many thanks for joining us. I'm Michael Njenga. The High Court has today dismissed former Youth Fund Chairman Evans Goro SEMELANG'O's petition to have his name included on the ballot paper for the August 11th Mathare by-elections. Justice Bombing Goge, while delivering the judgment, stated that SEMELANG'O failed to resign at least 6 months to the by-elections as required by law. Alex Kubasu will be bringing us that story in just a while. The Kenya Primary School Head Teachers Association has asked the government to suspend its recent directive that requires public schools across the country to release all KCPE and KCSE certificates for candidates with outstanding school fees balances until a more viable solution to the problem is found. President Uhuru Kenyatta and his Deputy William Ruto have directed school heads to implement the directive immediately. Hassan Farah has the details.
During a press conference in Mombasa yesterday, the national chairman of the Kenya Primary School Head Teachers Association, Joseph Karuga, maintained that teachers were not fully consulted over the matter and there was need for a meeting between teachers and the government before the implementation.
But how we approach that issue is what is of concern to us. I think there would have been a better way of looking at the whole thing for win-win situation. The same schools are the ones which are, and we don't want to encourage a Kenyan who doesn't want to work. If there are genuine cases, then we can address that. But somebody who is thinking there is anything for free, even in actual fact what we call free education, it's not free. Somebody pays for that money, for that education.
Karuga, on the other hand, expressed concerns over the failure by the government to disperse free primary school education funds on time, warning that the delay undermines the quality of education in the country.
The intention is good. We support the government. But there must be a mechanism where we are telling our people, you went there knowing the responsibility you carry. If by that time you had to pay for your child to be in school and pay for that certificate, do so. Going forward, let's see if there are people who are grieved and who really need to be assisted, so be it. They are Kenyans.
Over 10,000 primary school head teachers across the country have converged at Sheikh Zayed Islamic Center in the North Coast for 5 days, with an aim of discussing education matters and agree on the way forward. Hassan Farah, Citizen Live at 1.
Moving on, a 38-year-old man is being held by police in Baringo County on suspicion of poaching after police officers seized 2 elephant tusks. The 2 tusks are worth $500,000 shillings, according to the police. The suspect, John Kaimo, was arrested after a tip-off from members of the public. According to Baringo North Sub-County Senior Superintendent of Police Kilonzo Makau, the suspect was a serial criminal who had earlier served a 2-year jail term for poaching. The suspect is to be arraigned in court.
There is need for judiciary to give a deterrent punishment, and especially those who are the tycoons, the mabwenyenye, those who are using these young, those mabwenyenye, they hide themselves very far, but then those are the people whom we are still hunting. We are still looking for them seriously. We know they are the ones who are sending these poachers to this, because such a person, even he doesn't know where he is in Sri Lanka or China.
Now, some NAIVASHA town residents have vowed to stop a private developer from constructing on a disputed piece of land in the area over claims that the land was grabbed. The agitated residents marched to the plot and destroyed building materials at the site, vowing that no construction work would take place. They're now asking the government to intervene.
Irate residents took to a construction site in Kayole Mountain View Estate in Naivasha town in an attempt to stop one of the town's tycoons from developing a prime plot, claiming that he had grabbed it from them. Their message was clear: if they could not build on what they claimed to be their land, then no development would take place on the same land.
Mimi ni mama mzee, lakini nateseka na nilikuwa na mali yangu. Nilinunua na jasho hivi. Na sasa wale wa matajiri wanakuja kuchukua haki yangu. Mimi ni mkangwe, nataka kukaa chini nikule ile nilitafuta mapema.
Mwenye hii shamba tumekuwa tukisumbuana, tunaenda kotini, tunarudi hapa na tuna kila document, hakuna mtu hana document yake.
Alafu we have decided to remove the what? The source, the idea, and also to remove, to face the what? To face the plot. So that maybe whoever have been sold to can know there is a owner.
They are now demanding that development on the contentious parcel of land stop until a case before the court is heard and determined. Salim Bilu, Citizen Live at 1.
Now, a parliamentary committee has ordered the audit of all accounts of the Constituency Development Fund countrywide. The chairman of the National Assembly Select Committee on the Constituency Development Fund, Moses Lesonet, says the move will help improve transparency and accountability in the management of the fund at grassroots levels. Speaking during the Select Committee's tour of CDF-funded projects in Kajiado Central Constituency, Lesonet also announced that there were plans to have all CDF managers sign performance contracts to improve their productivity. The committee members praised Kajiado Central as a model constituency in the management of CDF funds. The constituency fund there helped construct 350 classrooms, 17 secondary schools, as well as disbursing bursaries to some 16,000 students in secondary schools and higher institutions of learning. Treasury has at least 11 years disbursed 523 billion shillings to the Constituency Development Fund.
We have managed to put up 350 classrooms. And we have managed to put up over 17 secondary schools.
We want to see proper structures like this. We want to see proper desks in classrooms. We want to see dorms with good beds. We want to see schools with good dining halls. The focus again is on quality.
Beauty, they say, is in the eyes of the beholder, but for some, it appears a woman's beauty is in her hair. And it is because of that the hairstyling and beauty industry is a multi-billion-dollar enterprise worldwide. And whilst debate continues on just what makes hair beautiful and whether women should wear artificial hair or apply chemicals on their hair, there appears to be a growing trend among women to go natural, or in their own words, to return to one's roots. Just what do the men think of this trend? Evelyn Omboy sought to find out that, as well as several other perspectives that inform the natural hair debate.
Say goodbye to processed hair, weaves and extensions, and hello to natural hair. Whether straightened in full-out afros, curled or even held in twist-outs, bantu knots, baby locks or dreadlocks, natural hair seems to be making a comeback. Or, like most of these girls will appropriately correct you, some women are choosing to return to their roots.
It's actually not going natural, it's actually returning to natural because that's how you're born. You're born with your hair natural.
Going natural is a trend that is quickly catching on with the ladies, evident with the numerous women on the streets who are now embracing a concept that not too long ago would have you viewed as someone unable to afford a trip to the salon for hair maintenance. This here, for example, is a celebration by a group of women who have used the social media platform, Facebook, to educate and inspire each other on going natural and maintaining it. The group, Kali Diaries, that has just over 1,400 members, sees women exchange experiences and information regarding their hair in postings.
It was made out of a need for getting information out there to ladies about caring for their natural hair, because there isn't much education out there about what to do with your hair. You know, because all our lives we've always gone to salons, or your hair is braided, or, you know, you're in a weave, or, you know, So how do you take care of this natural hair? Where do you go to find help? Where do you go to find support?
The discussion about women's choice of hair is one that continues outside this forum, with men especially, who always have a thing or two to say about what is best. Chipping in some observations, we ask them what they think about the latest hair trend.
Iko sawa, inafanyanga madem pia kufunga kiukweli, wakinyolewa wataka kama sisi. Hizo ni za falasi wa nini huko masima yolo si nini. Mimi napenda mdema kuna nywele natural, nywele yake, nywele real. Mambo ya wigo hata nenazo. Hata kikupikia saa zote nikutoa tu piece kwa mdomo. Alafu hizo mambo za every weekend ati salon nywele natural.
I got good hair. I got African in my family. The general thought behind many of those who have chosen to go natural, what could be viewed as a controversial statement, especially given the numerous hair options in use and such diverse opinions on what is or isn't beautiful.
Move on to the corridors of justice, where the High Court has today dismissed former Youth Fund Chairman SEMELANG'O's petition to have his name included on the ballot paper for the August 11th Mathare by-elections. Justice Mombingoge, while delivering the judgment, stated that SEMELANG'O failed to resign at least 6 months to the by-election as required by law. Alex Kubasu with the details.
It was the end of the road for the former Youth Fund chairman who, despite defending himself vehemently against failure to resign in time as required of public officers, High Court Judge Justice Mombingoge ruled that SEMELANG'O's application to vie for the Mathare parliamentary seat was time-barred. SEMELANG'O was sacked by the Devolution Cabinet Secretary Anne Waiguru in February of this year and replaced by music producer Bruce Odhiambo. 4 days ago, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, postponed the Mathare constituency by-election that had been scheduled for 7th August of this year to Monday, 11th August of this year. The postponement was to allow the Commission adequate time to include William Omondi's name on the ballot paper as a contestant in the by-election in compliance with the High Court judgment issued on the 30th of July this year in a constitutional petition. Meanwhile, the preparations for the by-elections of one of the most populous constituencies in Nairobi County, boasting of over 88,000 voters, is solidly on track.
So far, preparations are going on very well. We are training our clerks on the use of e-bits, transmission of results. It's also being worked on.
So far, 7 candidates have confirmed to vie for the seat. The by-elections come after a successful petition by ODM candidate Steve Kariuki that challenged the election of the TNA candidate George Wanjohi. Alex Kubasu for Citizen Live at 1.
Now, court's call for major changes to the Constitution through a referendum continues to ruffle feathers, with the Jubilee coalition terming it a waste of time. And the showdown between governors and senators over the creation of county development boards to coordinate the use of devolved funds persists, with the judiciary expected to arbitrate on the constitutionality of the bill that was assented to by President Uhuru Kenyatta on Wednesday. Francis Gashuri, Chances More.
The Council of Governors was today scheduled to unveil its team of experts who would spearhead changes to the Constitution through a referendum for increased devolved funds through the Pesa Mashinani initiative, but the session was postponed and no reasons were given, even as the governors, through their chairman Isaac Ruto, who graced the power breakfast show this morning on Citizen TV, laid the case for more funds.
We believe there are certain things that have to be anchored properly in this Constitution. If devolution is to move to the future with certainty, without reverse gears.
The county government's share in the 2014-2015 financial year was based on the last audited accounts that were approved by Parliament for the financial year 2009-2010.
We went to AUDIT, where the Deputy President was. We agreed, okay, fine, we are willing to let you give us them 240 because that will be just enough for us to manage these things. They gave us 270. And then those others, it still isn't moving anywhere. They tell us that they've given us 43%. Can you believe it? How can 2.6 be 43% of 963 billion collected last year? That is only hardly 22%. And they dare say it in public they dare announce that they have given counties 43%.
Governors are also opposed to the creation of county development boards after President Uhuru Kenyatta sent it to the County Development Board Bill of 2014. Senators will chair the boards, with governors serving as secretaries, while members of parliament and members of the county assemblies will be members.
This is an unconstitutional bill. Most of us did not expect that it was going to be signed into law. And we made it very, very clear, and we are incontrovertible on this, that it is unacceptable. We have gone to court.
Wanapinga waende kotini, hiyo ni haki yao. Lakini bodi iko, mimi ninauliza senators wote wapeane notice ya mkutano ya kwanza in their counties. The first meeting should be held within 30 days. Waitanishe, hata mimi nimepeana notice Tharaka Nithi County Development Board ikutane September.
The Governor's Council's referendum push coincides with one advanced by the opposition team called through the Okoa Kenya initiative.
Support the referendum and let us allow you, the people, exercise that ultimate sovereignty to give a solution to the troubles and problems that are disturbing the soul of Mother Kenya.
But the Jubilee Coalition leadership has warned its governors against pursuing the referendum route, even though the county bosses have insisted their agenda had nothing to do with the opposition.
Unajua mimi ni kinara wa referendum. Kwa sababu referendum ya kwanza katika Kenya ni mimi niliongoza na nikifanyia campaign Kenya yote. Na tukaanguka. Tukashindwa. Nilijua ni kwa nini tulishindwa. Ya pili tulifanya campaign ikiwa national coordinator wa referendum green campaign. Hakuna pahali sikuenda na hiyo tulifaulu. Ningetaka kumwambia hii ikienda vile iko itaanguka.
Sio referendum wanataka kujaribu vile unaweza kuchukua serikali ya Uhuru na Ruto kupitia njia ya mkato ama njia ya nyuma.
Shida zilianzishwa na watu wengine, ati leo turudi referendum. Hiyo sisi kama Wakenya tumesema hapana. Uchaguzi tulimaliza. Na hata bahati mbaya tukienda bado tutawaangusha.
Francis, the Shuri Citizen Live at 1.
Indeed, you're watching Live at 1. We take a short break. We'll be right back with other news and business and sports. Stay with us.